In this episode, we're going to talk about some of the summer toys that I wish I had when I was a kid. So, stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to Sentimental. My name is Rob, and this is the show where I talk about those memories of my childhood, and in this case, the memories are about toys that I wish I had when I was a kid. Now, to celebrate Summer Stampede, these are summer toys. I mean, they're toys that you could play with all year long, but they just seem more apropos for the summer months. So, without further ado, let's get to number one. Our first toy that I wish I had when I was a kid was one that came from Radio Shack. Now, I could not nail down a specific year that it was released, but with it being from Radio Shack, it stayed on the shelf for probably a couple decades. This is the Stinger RC boat. Now, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with any remote-controlled vehicle. But boats were just something that I thought was so outside the norm that I definitely wanted one. Now, every time my father would go into Radio Shack and I would go with him, I would see this on the shelves and I wanted it so bad. But I was always met with the resistance of, what water are you going to play with it in? I mean, that's a very valid point, but not valid enough to stop me from being salty about it. I mean, I'm sure I could find a stream or a creek, or make friends with somebody with a pool, something. I mean, but something of this caliber that I would assume could hit some impressive speeds, probably not. I definitely couldn't play with in the bathtub. Now, one of the things I really like about this RC boat is it just looks awesome. It even has two little drivers in it, and it says, you know, they're part of the racing team. So I wanted to be part of the team too, but that's just not how it worked out. Our next toy comes from Laramie in the year 1985, and this is the Intertech motorized Uzi squirt gun. Now, there are plenty Intertech squirt guns that I really wanted, and one day maybe we'll circle back and talk about them in the future. But the Uzi was, I mean, a thing of beauty. The Uzi was the, official submachine gun of the 80s, and I definitely liked it because that was the weapon of choice for Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe. So I wanted an Uzi too. Motorized on top of that, I mean, you won't get a tired trigger finger like with those cheap plastic see-through ones that I was more accustomed to. Now, the Intertech toy line comes under fire a lot, no pun intended, because of their realistic qualities, and I believe there were a few accidents with the local law enforcement of certain areas that kind of put a damper on the fun of having a realistic looking squirt gun, or cap gun, or what have you. Soon we were inundated with just brightly colored, neon colored squirt guns and realistic models with hideous paint jobs. But I mean, when you're talking about safety, that's understandable. Now, of course, that wasn't the reason why I never got one. My parents didn't care about safety. I think it was just that it had a little bit higher of a price tag than your typical, like I mentioned, cheap see-through squirt guns that you could find at any Five or Dime or drugstore. Now, there were a couple kids down the street from me that had them, and man, were they awesome. Now, they were very fragile. I remember them breaking the barrel off of one of the Uzis, and, you know, it's just kind of lame after that, but you can still pretend and still have a lot of fun. I definitely want to get this in my collection one day. I mean, it's definitely not something you can parade around with like you could back in the 80s, but it would be nice to just have it sitting around and I could think of all the fun I could have had. Anyway, here's a commercial that I found from Japan. Now, I don't know if this is specifically for Laramie or Intertech, but it's still awesome nonetheless, so enjoy.
今度の休みも一郎と遊ぼう。ウージーウォーターガン新発売。
Our third toy? Yeah, there were two reasons I was never able to get it as a kid. And this is something else that came from Laramie, this time in 1986. This is Photon. Now, I was lucky enough to play Photon just one time in one of the arenas. It was on the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland. And I had so much fun. And, of course, that experience is, of course, hyped up a lot more than what the playtime at your house would be like, with all the lights and noises and, you know, a large gaggle of kids hunting each other down and shooting each other. But I wanted to bring that excitement home with me. Now, of course, Photon was pretty pricey. Also, I didn't really have anyone to play with. Yes, I mentioned earlier that there were some kids down the street, but it would require them to purchase it as well. And my parents definitely didn't have the money or the wherewithal to buy two sets. So, yep, I was out of luck. But I love Photon. I mean, I also wanted laser tag as well. I mean, laser tag was more streamlined and aesthetically pleasing, but there's just something about Photon and that excitement of playing it in the arena. Also, yeah, I was a sucker for the TV show when I was able to catch it. I mean, you gotta love people in big rubber suits, and I think that just, you know, wins out over the laser tag cartoon. But anyway, yeah, Photon. Of course, you didn't have to just play it in the summer, you could have played it anytime. But yeah, it would have been fun to run around the backyard with this, hiding behind trees, popping out of bushes, just all that good stuff. Anyway, I found two different commercials for Photon that I couldn't decide which one to show you. So we'll take a look at both. So I hope you enjoy.
You have been chosen to be the ultimate laser warrior. First, choose wisely. Choose the only laser that really works. It scores on the helmet, scores between phasers, and the module. When going into battle, don't get tagged. Be the ultimate laser warrior. Only Photon really works together. You have chosen wisely. Photon, only from Intertech.
Phaser, and helmet.
Introducing the ultimate game on planet Earth, Photon.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Now you can hear and see when he's hit electronically. The one and only Photon. He's beaten. It's the ultimate challenge from the ultimate game, Photon.
Our fourth summer toy that I wish I had when I was a kid is another one that was put out by Laramie. I also saw LJN's name somewhere in it, but it kind of got lost in the gobbledygook. But I'll shout out both of those, Laramie and LJN. Anyway, this is Zapit, another squirt gun, and this is more of a traditional non-motorized squirt gun. But its awesome shtick was it was disappearing ink like water that you would fire out of it. Now, of course, this is either a mini Uzi or a Mac 10, and either way, super cool. I mean, you could be like Chuck Norris in Invasion USA and just start mowing down kids and squirting them with red or blue ink. Yeah, it just in my mind, that would have been the most awesome thing ever. Now, I can't recall why I never was able to get my hands on one, but very awesome. And of course, being a fan of the Uzi, like we talked about earlier, I was also a fan of the Mac 10. I mean, it's just a smaller version and it just looks mighty awesome. Now, I have no personal experience to go by, so I don't know how well the disappearing ink-like liquid worked. I mean, did it stay on your clothes for a long time? Was it just you got shot and it disappeared instantly? I don't know. But yeah, I just think it would have been super fun. And it just elevated that squirt gun game just one notch higher than just normal old plain lame water. I mean, actually shooting colors out and they don't stain. I mean, awesome. Anyway, I found a commercial for it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Watch out, America. You never know where Zapit will pop up next.
Dad!
Bobby!
Zapit!
Hey, guys! Mom! I'm so sorry.
Zapit! The color disappears, but the fun never ends.
Dad!
Hey, Bobby!
Mom!
Zapit! Complete with guns and disappearing liquid. Additional refills in red or blue sold separately. Zapit! The color disappears, but the fun never ends.
Our fifth and final toy that I wish I had when I was a kid kind of goes off the squirt gun path drastically. And it's a little bit more sports themed, which, yeah, that's a big surprise coming from me. But this is Baseball Kid, released by Ohio Art in 1981. Again, I didn't have many kids to play with growing up, and the ones that did move down the street from me came a little bit later. So when I remember seeing these commercials, I thought, how awesome. I can play baseball by myself, because what Baseball Kid is like a cutout of a baseball kid that you would put a wiffle ball in his hand and he would rocket it at you. Now, I don't know how fast or how accurate, but I mean, that's better than not having anyone to play with at all. I mean, a little cutout kid, when you're a kid, of course, not as an adult, would be super awesome to play with. And yeah, I was a huge baseball fan growing up. I mean, I was so down with the Baltimore Orioles and Cal Ripken Jr., Eddie Murray. I mean, those were awesome memories from my childhood. And yeah, I can't believe it now looking back at it that I was actually a fan of a sport at some time. But yeah, I would have loved to have Baseball Kid and knock some homers out in my backyard. Anyway, we're going to end this with yet another commercial. And yeah, this one's straight from 1981. Okay folks, that was a look at 5 summer toys I wish I had when I was a kid. And we talked about a little bit of everything, from remote control boats to a cutout of a baseball kid that chucks baseballs at you. And of course, a little bit gun heavy, because when I was a kid, that was something that I had a lot of fun doing. Just playing guns, playing soldier, and I think it was something of the era. Nowadays, yeah, that's seriously frowned on. But back then, it was nothing but just good, wholesome fun. Now, I would love to have some of these in my collection one day, but some of them are just left to the memories that I had of thinking about them from when I was a kid. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun reminiscing, and I hope you did too. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everyone. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.